Welcome to Umber Talks, a real estate podcast. We're here to learn, share, and explore ideas with the best in the industry. Enjoy. On today's episode of the Umber Talks podcast, I'm joined by someone who's an active force in Ottawa's real estate market, Simon Saab. Simon's a real estate investor, builder, and renovator who's done it all. He owns multiple buildings. He builds from the ground up, renovates, and flips. But what really sets Simon apart is how he treats people. Simon is known for taking exceptional care of his tenants and always maintaining and improving his buildings. He's a reliable, well-liked figure who's built a reputation not just on the projects he's completed, but on the relationships he's nurtured along the way. And this is the Umber Talks podcast, powered by Umber Realty, an independent real estate brokerage out of Ottawa and Toronto. We work across every facet of real estate: luxury residences, land development, urban condominiums, and commercial investment properties. And through this podcast, we bring together leading academics, seasoned practitioners, and bold entrepreneurs. Our guests share their ideas that drive innovation and shape the future of the real estate industry. We wanted to record this conversation with Simon to give our investor listeners this clear sense of what it's really like to build from the ground up. Hearing directly from a hands-on developer offers this first-hand perspective you don't often hear. It's also important for us as a brokerage to stay sharp with our numbers and to keep our ear to the ground for our clients. It's conversations like this that help us better understand the mindset of developers and, in turn, help us serve our investor clients more effectively. In this episode, you'll hear about the ups and downs of real estate from someone who's lived them. Simon shares some of the challenges and the opportunities in Ottawa's real estate market today. We also dive into his experience building one of the very first condominiums in Westboro and these lessons that he learned from bringing that vision to life. If you're an investor, a developer, or simply curious about the inner workings of the real estate market in Ottawa, this episode's packed with insights you won't want to miss. Enjoy. All right. Welcome to the Umber Talks podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Simon Saab. Simon is a real estate investor. He builds properties. He owns buildings in Ottawa. He's been doing this a long, long time. Why I'm excited about this conversation with Simon is because he's in the action every day. He's running numbers. He's a builder here in Ottawa. So we're going to have a chat. We're going to talk a little bit about his journey, how he got started, how he sizes up a deal. Like when Simon's assessing whether or not a deal is a good deal or a bad deal, how does he do that? And then we're going to talk a little bit about what he thinks is happening in Ottawa today and where it's going and perhaps where it's been. The Oracle of Ottawa here, Simon.
Oh, yeah.
So welcome, Simon. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Shaun.
And
good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. I met Simon many years ago in a showing him a building actually in the Glebe. It was Elmer Road. Yeah, we met many years ago. Then didn't see each other for a few years, and then we ended up just crossing paths again. But Simon, would love to talk about, because I have no clue. We've never talked about this in all of our dealings. Yeah. How did you get started in real estate? Where did it all begin?
Well, I mean, real estate real estate was secondary to what I was doing early on in life, which my first love was the restaurant business.
Okay.
And so I built and developed four restaurants in town, and I ran them for a period of time. And during that phase in my life, I started investing in real estate. So you have extra cash rather than leaving it in the bank, you'd buy real estate. So and that's where it started.
What year was that about when you started investing?
I would say 87.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. 87. And, but my focus was always my restaurants, and, which I loved doing. And, so I would say for the last 20 years, I started looking at real estate. And it started because there were periods of time in real estate where, for example, 15 years ago, it would be easy to buy a lot, sever it,
Right.
pay it off with selling one lot and building a property.
Right.
And that's where it started. And I went through a phase where I was lucky enough to do 10 in a row.
Really?
They just came. So that was good. And then learned to build through that. I built and now I'm out of the restaurant business. At my age, I'll look for things, and if something comes up that I can build on, not buy and renovate, but build, I will.
You prefer to build ground up?
For now, yeah, for now.
Why is that?
Because I have enough older buildings in my portfolio that I bought old, renovated, and now they're running and uh, well maintained. I manage my own properties. So the building aspect, it's just fun. I enjoy it.
Right. So for Simon Saab, when you're sizing up a deal, if someone were to bring you a deal and say, hey, I think this is a nice plot of land, or I think this is a good opportunity for you, like what starts turning in your brain? Is it cap rate? Is it what's my rental income? What's the cash flow? What's the future value? Like when the wheels start turning and Simon's, at night maybe crunching out and seriously looking at a deal, how are you thinking about a deal?
Well, first of all, the zoning.
Right.
Right. If the zoning is good to build, let's say, I'm looking at a lot now, just looking at it. So the zoning, what I can put on the lot, how many units, then what the units will bring me, taking expenses, using the cap rate of the area 4.2, 4.5. And if the building makes sense, and I know the cost of construction, and if it makes sense, then I'll do it. So it's a combination of everything you just said.
Right.
All of those.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what cap rate are you looking to achieve to make it?
Well,
to
it's
make it
different.
a goal?
The glebe is as low as 4.25, 4.3 on some deals I've seen. Centertown is 4.50, 4.75, some as high as 5, depending on the building.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe's probably recognizing these numbers because we had one of our co-op students take all the historical multi-unit sales, and we went back really far in each neighborhood, like Centertown, Glebe, Westboro, all the New Edinburgh, and crunched out what is the average cap rate in those areas, and it's almost verbatim to his presentation that he gave, like close to the 4 on Glebe, 4.25. It's funny because it's just so interesting to hear you're in the action and you're pumping out basically almost the exact averages that we had our co-op.
Yeah. I mean, if you take the cap rate, the glebe has always been, I mean, I've seen it as low as 3.75, but now I think the average is 4.
So if something's trading at 4.2, like an older build, are you thinking if I could build it brand new and still achieve 4.2, I'm in a better position?
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a brand new build and my maintenance costs are lower.
The new build. Well, I've seen some new builds in the glebe, brand new, and they all went for 4.2,
right,
4.25, which is great. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, the cost of construction to what you could build, what you could, again, buy the lot for. Like today, a building lot in the glebe is, let's say, a lot that's 30 by 110 is going for 1.1 million. 15 years ago, it was 190,000, right? So, but obviously the rents are up, and on and on and on. So
is it a good play, do you think, for someone who has the cash and can buy property outright to just hold it, not even put anything on it?
Yeah.
Just pay the taxes on the land.
Oh yeah. If it's in a good location, I mean, I've had lots over the years in Westboro. I remember I had 3 lots that I developed, And then prior to development, if I would have sold the 3 lots, the 3 offers I had, I would have made more money or just kept them.
Then developing it.
Yeah. Developing can always, especially small developers, it's with the cost today. That's coming back to the city growth. With the cost of developing today, you're leaving like multi-units are good now to develop. Like if you get a lot for 800,000, you're able to build 8 units. They're 2 bedrooms in a certain area. That building could be worth 4 to 4.5 million, and it would cost you to build maybe 1.8. So with your land, and so it's a good turnaround. It's good profit. But single homes for individuals are very difficult to make money. If you and I built a house, which we really aren't, we're allowed under Tarion.
Yeah.
So
Now, what about with all this new rental stock coming out of the market, these towers that are putting a
that's
lot
going to affect the market.
will that affect folks like you building smaller multis?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and his family owns 400 units in Ottawa. So he gave me a call and said, something is going on here because I've had my units on the couple of units on the market for a couple of months and no takers. And I had just experienced the same thing. It finally rented. And I think what the large towers are going to do when they're all up and people are living. Now, the towers are asking a lot of money. I mean, Minto on Fifth Avenue and Bank, for 670 square feet, they're 2,900. So, that's crazy. For where, let's say, in one of my older buildings, you can get a building, a unit that's mint as nice, but at 1,200 square feet for 2,400.
Right.
So I think once all these towers are up, we're going to go back to maybe what small landlords were 8 years ago before the pandemic. So our market will be niched out to where people want to live in smaller buildings. We'll charge less
And more square footage.
But you've got to keep your units like condo style.
Right.
Like I'm all of my buildings now, when someone leaves, I'll retrofit them with washer and dryer, new kitchens, quartz counters,
Right.
an island,
So does it concern you that all this supply is coming onto the market with you holding?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to it'll reduce the value of your building because your rents are going to decrease. It's obvious, right? So to get more customers in, you're going to have to, and you can't compete with the towers because, they'll either have a pool, a gymnasium, a workout, and if you look at the advertising of these large towers, they make it very, very unique for young adults where, they'll have a coffee shop, a gymnasium. The atmosphere of the building is very cool, and it's like you want to be seen there, but the rent is high.
Right.
So I think we'll fall back into a category of, small landlords, medium and large.
Right.
Where I was starting to charge after the pandemic, when the market went crazy for the rental, I couldn't believe the money I was getting for an apartment. And you were having people bidding.
Yeah.
And that's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like I just built now, I took a warehouse I have and I built it, turned it into a duplex and built 2 stunning apartments with 12-foot ceiling.
Where is it?
Up on Le Breton.
Oh, yeah?
Le Breton South by the, I mean, you'd see these, they're each single homes, but they're still in a smaller building. Now, if they were in a larger building, they're each 1,200. You'd probably rent for $4,000. So I'll rent them for 27, 28, which I'm happy with.
Yeah.
but they're beautiful apartments.
That's cool. Yeah. So the warehouse.
It's a warehouse. The ceilings are 12 feet.
Interesting.
The basement is 10.
Wow.
Yeah, they're nice. I kept the warehouse look in it. There's beams going across and maintained.
See, there'll always be folks that want something like that.
Yeah, I
like outside of the high rise stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I think so.
We've sold a lot of authentic lofts, like in 95 Beach, the loft in Little Italy, 589 Rideau, 120 Holland, like these converted historical lofts. When I got started in real estate, I started off in the historical loft because I came out of history in university. So I got into lofts with history.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks, like, they would absolutely, you'd never catch them in a high rise standard.
Yeah. There's still people.
They need different. They need the space to match their personality a little bit and something with the history behind it. So I think,
and I think when you're in a smaller building, let's say a duplex to a sixplex, it feels a little more like home.
Yeah.
So you'll know the other tenants.
Right.
And so it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
When you're in a large building, it's obviously cold. You're down a long hallway. But the secret, I think, to keeping good tenants is maintaining your buildings. Like, you'll get a lot of landlords that just do not. And I'm one that believes because if you don't maintain that building when you're ready to sell it, it's
not ready.
Run down. So I'd rather put the money back in my buildings, landscaping, from anything that's about to deteriorate, I'll repair it.
Yeah.
So.
And it keeps the tenant happy too.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. It's not, as small landlords, in my case, because I do manage, I react very quickly to problems, like immediate with very short turnaround time. And so, medium sized to large can take a week to get a dryer fixed.
Right.
Where I have a crew that can do things in maximum 48 hours.
Right.
So.
Now, when you're running the numbers on potentially building, and you're doing the quick math on it, the back of the napkin math, what's your cost to build these days?
Per
square foot.
I mean, prior to the pandemic, I did one building, and it was a really nice building, stone, brick, top end finishes. And that was at 164.
164.
But now I build my own. Right?
Yeah. So that's before all soft costs?
No, that included everything.
Everything. 164.
And so that's.
You gotta give you a round of applause on that one.
You.
Holy.
That building today is 280 a square foot.
If you were to do it today.
Yeah.
Everything. Landscaping, development charges, architect, engineer.
Yeah.
280 today.
$2.80.
Well, $280 a square foot.
Now, let's say you went out, you're going to need a general contractor. That's including that fee.
Right.
Like for me, it'd be probably 260.
Right.
Because I just, I'll get my own trades and so on.
So if someone's looking to, develop, that's basically their formula is they take $280 a square foot plus the cost of the land, take the total rents, punch in your total construction costs, figure out your net operating income, run it on a cap rate of 4.2 and see if it makes sense.
Yeah, in the area you're in. I mean, the glebe is great to build if you can get a good cheap lot because of the cap rate.
So what's a good cheap lot? Like a 30 by, call it a 30.
800. In the glebe now, 800 to $1 million.
For a 30 by 110?
110.
What's a 50 by 110? What would you pay for 50 by 110 today?
Well, that would give you the ability to put probably 12 units. So maybe $1 million. Yeah. I haven't seen lots like that in a long time now.
How could you put 12 on there, though, if it's R1?
Your setbacks are larger.
So you would need an R4, though.
An R4.
Yeah, okay. An R4, right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what do you think of them potentially changing the as of right on the R1s to allow for up to 4 units at the city?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So is that going to completely change the values of all these R1 properties?
I think so.
Like overnight?
Yeah.
Are people out there like we know that because we like study the bylaws and we need to know what's happening. Does the general public, are they aware that their R1 is going to
I think
potentially have
so.
4 unit? Like,
You mean if they're on a house and it's an R1 and it goes to an R4?
like almost
or
immediate,
two?
yeah, like if, or just an
Well, the
R1,
city notifies them and says the zoning's been changed to an R2
or just staying as an R1, and then they're going, or I think it's changing to an N1. They're actually changing the letter too.
they are.
Yeah, they're looking at it right now,
Okay.
changing all the bylaws and then allowing 4 units, up to 4 units on an R1.
In all areas?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah, as of right, if it goes through,
well,
it
it's
still
going to
needs to
add
be.
value to the property,
Yeah,
right? So yeah, and it's going to open it up to investors rather than a single home buyer. You know, so
changes things though, right?
yeah, it'll change. I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, there's certain areas where you need just single family homes, but does it make sense when you're in a growing city and you've got a lot that's 150 by 200 just sitting and, you know, it might open. I mean, California went through this. They're the first state that started taking large lots and allowing to build 3, 4 units on it. And they thought that would bring down the prices, but it hadn't because the houses going on those larger lots are equal to it was. So it didn't. It
Right.
just produced a lot more homes.
Right. So when you look at building something new, are you thinking, "Oh my God, I'm in for a ride. Like I'm in for some headaches. I'm in for a real push here." Or are you at a point now in your career where you've done it so many times, you feel like, just another project that can kind of.
No, there's always that. No, it's actually it's the opposite. As you get older, your stress level's much
Oh,
higher,
really?
and your tolerance is much
Lower?
like yeah.
Really? Eh?
Like but I just you kind of just okay. You know.
Calm down.
Yeah, like I'm this 7-unit building I'm just finishing now. I've been dealing with trying to find a shower base when the architect designed 2 of the units, neglected, had a design flaw of where the shower, you know, those alcove plastic or acrylic shower bases fit. Well, she reversed the process. So I've had to redo the plumbing, find the shower base that might fit in that. Finally, I've spent the last 3 weeks
Finding it.
finally finding one, but I've ordered already 4 that were the wrong size, not the wrong size, but just didn't seem to fit.
Yeah.
So having them delivered, putting them back in, reset. So but then you think, well, you know what? I'm a bit busy. It's good. So you do it, right? It's kind of, so but you see yourself where you're, so I finally found the 2 shower bases today at Boone Plumbing.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So I got to ask you, you know, you've done very well. You've bought and sold a lot of buildings.
Yeah.
You got a ton of units.
I wish I kept some of the buildings I sold. Jesus, before COVID. Oh my God.
Why are you still doing it?
It's funny you've had, like, from a personal point, personally, I've always worked, right? But what for me, work was, everything I did was fun. From the restaurant business to the real estate, I've always enjoyed it. And it wasn't always about money for me. Like it's funny. I was telling a friend the other day, and he takes money seriously.
Okay.
He's very frugal, has a lot of money. But for me, money was making it, spending it, and then finding another project. And it was like fun, right?
Right.
And now you get, so I look back and I'll say, cripes, if I only took money more. I'm not saying we all take money seriously, right? You work to make, but it was the fact that I enjoyed it.
Right.
I don't know, you enjoyed it. So when you enjoy the end, working hard, but not kind of, putting things away and just building a lot of cash. So when you're building, making, and then going on to the next project, it's like your money, so I've done where I've made $1 million on A, put it in B, lost $500,000 on B, took 700 from B, put it on C, and lost it all.
Mm,
So if I would have kept that million,
mm.
took a bit ease and then waited. So, that's when I'm saying like money is not always for me anyways. My
Right.
mother always used to say that you never take money seriously.
Right.
But I loved so I don't know. It's like, it's an odd thing to say. I don't take, but it was a conscious thing. I said, you know what? You just, it's like, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's part of enjoying things.
But that mentality is probably what caused you to make that million in the first place, right? Like anteing up, putting it on the table, getting out there.
Yeah. It's
and then on the ones you lost, I'm sure you learned,
yeah.
and then which made you smarter for the next ones, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I moved. My whole career was moving so quick. I didn't have time to learn. But it was like, it's funny when you're looking, right? You analyze, you look, you analyze, and if it makes sense, I'm impulsive. I'll do it. I've had many consequences. I mean, I've had 2 periods in my life where I lost everything. I had nothing.
How old were you?
42 and 28.
Wow.
Yeah. Completely lost everything. And that was due to the market collapsing, due to some of my impulsive behavior.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow. So after when you were 42, then did it change the way you looked at investing?
No.
Buying real estate?
No, I was
kept
fortunate.
going.
I had a couple of friends who knew me well and knew my position.
Right.
And both stepped up to the plate and said, here's this amount of money. And
then you got back out there. Did you do?
Without those two, it would have been very difficult.
Did you do another restaurant at that point, or were you into the real estate?
I did another restaurant.
Yeah.
And then more real estate.
Oh, wow.
But what I did, my real estate was a little more cautious.
Right.
In the sense that if I bought something, I needed at least 50% cash instead of buying something for that's what changed. You're right. In that sense, yeah.
50%. You lowered your risk.
I lowered my risk.
Yeah. Market can move, things can shake. You got a big
So when you
buffer.
lower a bit of your risk, and the ones that I would buy at higher risk, I would flip.
Right.
And make 50, 100,000. Like before the pandemic, I did 3 homes, renovated them in Alta Vista. Each home made about 110,000.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, I thought, "Oh, thank you, Lord, I got out in time."
Yeah.
And they all sold for 60% more than I sold it to they all sold them.
Yeah.
So if I would have kept them, I added it up, I would have made $1.3 million rather than 300,000. That was what they sold them for.
Wow.
Beautiful homes.
Right. So you obviously have a very high risk tolerance.
Yeah.
Did you always as a kid too?
Yeah. My wife doesn't know that.
Where did this come from? You just born? You think it's just in your DNA, or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And what it is too, I really think if you enjoy what you're doing, it drives you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the restaurant business, I loved. It was never work. I loved going in the morning, dealing with customers, creating menus, building it up, bringing in clientele. It was just a joy.
Do you miss it?
No. When I got out of it was the right time for me. Yeah. Right. I mean, COVID put an end to it. And I had a very successful restaurant before COVID, and it still would be operating when COVID happened. I had a staff of 22, 19 of them left after 20 years with me.
Wow.
After 20. So when COVID happened, they all went on CERB.
Yeah.
And then to restart up that business again at my age, 65,
Right.
it's too much. I mean,
Right.
I'd have to be there 8-10 hours a day. But it was, I was sad that I had to close it because it was so viable. So
Wow. Wow. Where was that restaurant?
it was on Wellington and Holland. It was an organic vegetarian restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Called The Table. And it was there for 22 years.
Yeah. I actually remember that.
Known.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great place, and it was just so, and the hours were perfect, 11 to 8. And so that,
So we work with a lot of folks who buy and sell real estate, from folks that have bought buildings, to small time investors that are younger folk buying their first or second property, or a couple folks to starting maybe their second build or their first build. A lot of them are going to be listening to this.
okay.
What advice do you have to them?
Starting out?
Yeah. The ones starting out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first of all, starting out, don't watch a lot of the reno shows because they glorify how you start out in real estate.
Okay.
If you're just going to buy and sell, know your numbers, right?
Yeah.
Know your numbers. Learn. I taught, you learn on the job. If you're starting out today, it's a good living to be in real estate. Real estate is a long term, right? It's not gonna flip you and make you could buy, if you're a bit lucky, buy something and then you continue and continue. I'm not gonna, I think if you're starting out, make sure it's what you want to do. If it's your secondary income, then go at a pace where you do a project, let's say every year, or every 2 years, or every 3. Like, start off slowly. And I've seen a lot of young people that I've known now for years that own 100, 200 units, and they started off with 6. Then the 6 became 8, and so on. And so you manage and you accumulate, you keep. So finding good deals is very important, because then you can rent them, and maintain. And what else?
What do you think of the idea of never sell? Buy, hold, never sell it. Use it to finance other projects, but just never sell, ever sell a property.
Yeah, never sell a.
Do you like that idea?
Maintain it, never sell it, and just hold on to it as an asset. So it's like holding on to your stocks and whatever, and maintaining it. And
do you wish you had done that? Just buy, hold, buy, hold, buy.
Yeah, on some of the buildings I sold, for sure. Yeah, but then I went through a phase where it was fun to build and flip.
Right.
So, and what happens when you buy, renovate, and flip, it just starts coming. So, okay, but if I was to do that part of my career in real estate over again, I would have actually managed and kept a lot of the buildings that I sold.
And just kept them.
I just kept them, and maintained them.
Do you think you would be further ahead today if you had taken that strategy?
Yeah, much, oh yeah.
And then it's a whole lot of work too, right?
Yeah,
to keep,
but then you'd hire, like right now I have enough units that I can manage on my own. But if I had 100 units rather than 48, you just hire a property manager.
Right.
So there's always stuff out there. There's not a lot of like in your case, you're a professional, you're a broker. But if you had several units, you'd probably hire a property manager. This is my full-time work.
Right.
So a lot of people they have property managers.
Right. Would you ever hand everything over to a property manager?
Maybe. I haven't really thought of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe by that time I'll just sell things,
Right.
you know.
Right. Do you think it's possible for somebody to who wants to invest in real estate, get started, call 23, 24 years old, they don't have the big $200,000 down payment, they don't have necessarily any collateral or anything, but they have a vision, a dream, they're deep into the research, they're very active looking for properties, they know their math. Do you think that individual could still buy up real estate and actively get into real estate by perhaps securing financing or partners, and
Sure.
like come into the real estate game as an investor with $0 and still build a portfolio?
Well, you'd need some money
Yeah.
unless you find a real estate. Oh, I'll give you an example. My first real estate deal was on Holland Avenue. The lot, you're talking 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I saw a lot that I could, the zoning was ours in those days, but I know I was able to build up to 10 stories.
Wow.
On that building. It was 13,000 square feet.
Wow.
So I went to the owner, who I knew to her to be the owner. I met her occasionally, and I made her a deal. I said, "How much do you want for your lot?" She said, $535. Okay, I said, "I have no money, but if you sell me the lot, right,
Yeah.
and give me an option on the land, right, and let me do what I want on the land, I'll pay you. You become first mortgagee, and I'll pay you every month." The going rate at that time was, I think, 23% for interest. Yeah, you think it's high today. So I took that lot, bought it. It was mine now, right?
Yeah.
It was mine.
And you're paying her like
I was paying her
an
every
enormous
month.
sum every month, and you're running the restaurant at this time
Yeah,
too?
I had enough cash from the restaurant to do this. Then I went and got investors. I knew what that lot was, and then I wound up getting 3 other investors with me, and we built an 8-story building with 2 underground garages. It was the first condo in Westboro, right at the corner of Holland and No, it was the first condo.
Holland and
Wellington.
which corner?
You know the theater? There's a theater,
Yeah.
the Great Canadian Theater.
Yeah.
The building behind it, 99 Holland.
Behind it.
Yeah.
Behind it's the Currents now, I think, is it's a windmill.
No.
Not that one?
No. It's right behind the theater, right at the corner.
Okay.
The address is 99 Holland.
99.
That was the first condo in Westboro, but it was the first condo to have. Now you see these buildings that have commercial space underneath.
Yeah.
Well, I built it with commercial space, and then the first floor was all commercial, doctors' office.
Wow. And then the residential?
Rest condos.
Come on.
And that was purchased with no money down.
So there.
So the key to this is you look and ask, right? So you see something, and you might be fortunate enough to meet a person that'll say, well, okay, this guy wants to buy it for $500,000. I'll take back. And if they have your credibility's strong, you meet with them, your numbers are, that could happen.
Wow.
That could.
So to answer my question, you're actually a living example.
Yeah.
Zero
that
money.
was one example that worked out for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, when I finished the building, I didn't make a penny. But I built this building. I didn't make a penny. 4 years of exhausting, hired the Daewoo construction. I finished the building, and the condo market collapsed completely.
Really?
You couldn't give away condos in Ottawa, and that lasted for almost 15 years. So I came out of there negative $60,000.
Wow.
But if I sold, I had an offer on that lot. Someone else wanted to build. I had an offer on that lot for 1.275 million. I would have taken that, paid her back her money, and kept almost $700,000. And I said, nah, I decided to build a building because of that motion in me that keeps wanting. Yeah.
But it was education.
Yeah. I would have been nice to come out with some money and things, but
Yeah.
it was that again is what you call a bit of bad luck.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get the lot, but at the end, there was some bad luck when the condo, I mean, you probably don't remember when the condo market collapsed in Ottawa. It was awful. It was like my units were to be sold at that time. Right now, they're worth $500,000 in that building. So I built them for 75,000 each unit.
You built them for that, or you sold them?
No, I built them for that.
Yeah.
I needed to sell them for 125,
Yeah.
150. I would have made money. I sold them to get out. I sold them for what I built them. That's how bad the market got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I came out unscathed, like in the sense.
Yeah. And then you had a ton of experience, and then went off and did some, some
the
other
experience was a bit scary.
Yeah.
But it's funny, that building, I know someone that just built a building very similar.
Recently?
Yeah, on Bank and Elmer.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This 42 units, 2 underground parking, commercial underneath, so similar. It cost them $28 million.
Wow.
30 some years ago, I built that building for $4.9 million. And top notch buildings. So see the cost of the things, all brick balconies. The top floors had fireplaces, So
now, how'd you secure the 4.9 million?
Creatively.
Friends and family?
No. What I did is I went to the bank. The bank was willing to lend us. I brought in 3 partners. The bank was willing to lend us $3 million. No, I'm sorry, $3.5 million.
Okay.
The value of the land was $500,000. I needed $500,000 from us.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So I went to a fella that lends money. He was a mortgage broker in town. I said, give me $500,000, but don't put the papers, don't secure the second mortgage till I get the bank. I was going to he was happy with the second mortgage, but I don't want you to register it, and I want the money to look like it's coming from me. Put it in my bank account. Laurentian Bank saw that I had $500,000. They were ready to advance the money. The guy who gave me the $500,000 put his second mortgage afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah. And some people can do that.
Wow. And then
but they all got paid. The guy that gave me the everybody got paid, right? And that's a philosophy I have. I've always, the little guys are the guys that treated you well. Yeah, you do whatever. And there were parts I didn't have to pay him back. I could have kept, it would have been, and I paid, the bank took back their money.
Right.
So,
wow.
So we all came down out minus 60,000. And the other 3 never spoke to me again.
Oh, geez. So did you partner with other folks on other deals, or did you then go off on your own?
No, I've partnered many times.
Yeah. Do you prefer to go at it alone or with a partner?
Today, alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some partners, we were just best of friends, so that we never questioned each other.
Right.
But you go into a partnership that is all about money, it can be very difficult.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
That's not,
Yeah.
And if you ask, so partnerships, you've got to be careful with.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. The point you brought up is just going out and find it and then ask. And I think a lot of people want to get out there and want to start investing, but they're not willing to knock on the door.
Always. It doesn't, it's to me, it ask, of course.
So how many no's do you typically get before you get an opportunity?
Well, not anymore. I'm selective now.
Back when you were coming up.
Oh, I just kept trying. Honestly, you get a lot of, you put an offer in, and let's say I'll go to a broker and the property's 8. You buy it for, let's say, 775. No money down. The owner can take back a mortgage. I mean, things like that. Where.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know if it happens anymore. I don't know. I mean,
The vendor take backs.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing it more today because the rental units, small buildings, are hard to finance. They're very difficult.
The banks are requiring like half down now, at least, right?
They're not easy to finance. So
Is that why you prefer to build?
well,
Partially.
building, yeah. I mean, building too is easy. Like today, if you could build, get the right lot, get the right cap rate, get the right size, and it winds up costing you 3 million with land, and you flip it for 4.5, you've made 1.5 before tax
Mm-hmm.
within a year and a half, maybe. So it's a good
Is that still a feasible
Yeah.
scenario?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're building at 240 a foot, a lot of people can't achieve that.
Yeah.
How do you achieve 240 a foot?
Well, just I'm my own contractor. So
But-
I buy things. I just hire the sub trades.
Right.
So that $20 difference you're paying a GC. So you hire him, he gives you the key at the end, and you own the building.
No, but so someone with no experience whatsoever, are they still able to get 280 a foot, do you think? Or they're going to get
No,
take it?
280 with a general, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I
280.
mean, that's what you should be looking at. I mean, if you get taken for a ride,
Yeah.
315, 320. And then again, you could go up to 315.
Depending on what you're building, of course.
What you're building and what the cost of the land is today. So.
Right. So as back of the napkin math, 280 a foot plus the cost of the land.
Yeah.
And the 280 includes absolutely everything.
Yeah, it should include everything.
Soft costs. Oh, wow. Interesting. Do you see that price going up for folks? Or do you see it stabilized?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
With this, all the tariff stuff going on, and I don't know, things can be, they could go up a bit.
When you're running 240 a foot, you're running your costs on these projects. Are you putting everything into a spreadsheet, or is it mostly just your understanding?
No, I put it into a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I look at all, and it changes, right? I mean, you could start with flooring at 21,000, and you'll find a deal.
Right.
And so that changes all the time.
Right. And well, what's the labor market like right now
For
just getting contractors?
It's good.
It's good. Because it was tough there a few years ago, right?
Through COVID, it was
impossible, right?
Yeah. Through COVID, I was going to do a building. I think I told you about it, a 12 unit, and it jumped from 2.9 million to 4.6 because of COVID. And I stopped it.
Right.
And I wound up losing $300,000. I lost 300 because I already made plans.
Right.
I did so on and on and on.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And the material costs and the construction demand.
It didn't make sense anymore.
Right.
So it just made no sense.
So do you find the contractors are just changing their prices? Do they respond to the market very quickly?
Yeah.
So they'll just throw on 5% if they're in high demand, or take 8% off if they're in low demand?
Well, the market in trades calls itself. When it's not busy out there and people aren't building, so the plumber, rather than 105, is more than happy to take 75 to get the job.
Right.
And he's still making money at 75.
Right. Right. Interesting. So are you, as the general contractor, in your career now, are you going to the more or less the same people to do the plumbing, the flooring, like when they're quoting jobs, or do you put it out to 2 or 3 folks?
Well, I always go to the same people. I'll get a price.
Yeah.
But then I'll always get 2 others.
Right.
And I'll always go with the cheap. This building I'm building now, 2 of the one electrician and and HVAC I've used for 20 some years, but they couldn't match the prices of the
Yeah.
one of the two. And I went with the other two because you're talking 20, 25,000 and 18,000.
Yeah.
That's big difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If it was like 1,000 or two,
Yeah.
you'd go with the guys and the two I hired turned out to be fine.
Right. And then you just call up the folks you've been working with a long time and just be like, sorry, they came in like significantly lower. Like,
Yeah, no, they don't even know I've built.
Oh, right.
So if they do ask me, I'll just tell them. But
Right.
a lot of the times they're on to another job.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Right. What's the toughest in a build? What's the toughest hurdle to get over to? Like, is it when you get in the foundation pour, like what stresses you out the most?
City.
The route, the city.
Municipality, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting through the city is so difficult.
Is it difficult for you even if you have the right zoning? Even if you're zoned for what you're looking to do?
Well, if you have the right zoning, you're eliminating 3 to 4 months of committee of adjustment.
Right.
But then there's still fees. There's still, engineering will take 3 weeks to look at some and on and on. So from the process to the end, if everything goes smooth, you're talking a year, 14 months. If everything doesn't go smooth and you have to go to committee of adjustment and that, you're talking a year, 18 months.
Mm.
And then the fees.
Mm.
I mean, that duplex I told you, the warehouse, the city last year in January introduced a law that said if you're redeveloping a existing space and adding inside the existing space 1 or 2 apartments or 3, right? There's a $53,000 fee. Like, why would they charge you to build inside that existing? It's already zoned. It's just a fee they want to charge. And they just introduced it last year. So when I went to start construction in February, they passed it in January. And I had to pay $53,000 just as a fee.
So you find that the most challenging part
of the city, yeah, the money. I mean that the renos, just add $53,000 to your cost of renos. It was like 20%.
Right.
Of the, like, why do they? It's like they want units, but they just had added the fee if you're taking an existing space, right? Why should you pay a fee to convert a warehouse into 2 apartments? They'll have water, electricity, the tax base goes up, and on and on. Why would you have to pay the city a fee of 20 some thousand per unit? Like, to me, it makes no sense. When you develop a building, a 7 unit, it's 18,000 a unit. So before you dig, you owe the city 160 some thousand dollars
to get the permit.
Plus, they have another fee called in lieu of parkland, because you're taking a space, eliminating green space, and that is 57,000. So before you dig, before you hire anyone, you're in the city, you're into the city already 110,000, 210,000.
For what type of project size?
Let's say an 8 unit.
An 8 unit. You're in for about
210.
210
right.
For an 8 unit.
Then you have your plans of 65,000, and so.
So what percentage of you say, okay, 280 to build.
15%.
15% is the soft costs. All the soft costs, you'd say about 15.
Yeah. Sorry, 20.
20%. Interesting.
Now take away those fees that the city are charging. I mean, it'd be like 5%. But it's all city fees. It's all related to city fees.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's next for Simon Saab?
I don't know. I'm just, I'll wait till I finish these two things I'm doing now. I'll see next year if I feel in the mood for something. I'll look at something.
I have a feeling you're just
So
going to
if
keep
you
doing
find a lot that is 50 by 115, call me.
I will.
Or 30 by 110, call me. Maybe we can do it together.
Yeah. Could you imagine if I found you a 150 by 200? How excited would you get about something like that?
I do your show every month for free.
Yeah. We're going to run into some rapid fire questions. So first thing that comes to mind, okay? If you had to say when you're assessing something, go to the spreadsheet or gut feeling?
Gut feeling.
Cash flow or appreciation?
Oh, jeez. Cash flow appreciation.
I know
I'd
you
go
want
with
both.
appreciation.
Appreciation? Okay. I think we covered this, but prefer a new build or a vintage building with character?
I did one time prefer vintage, and I loved developing and keeping the beauty of it, but now new build.
New build. Worst mistake a rookie real estate investor can make?
I guess being too greedy and try to have a little more patience. Yeah. And buy something that you're comfortable with and build on that. I've known people that I've helped them buy something. They made 50, then they made 150, then they made 250 just from little houses, little projects.
In your career, your go-to Ottawa neighborhood for investing? I think I know the answer to this.
I'd say the Glebe and Center.
I said it in my head, the Glebe. He's a Glebe guy through and through. Favorite building material, wood, steel, or concrete?
Concrete.
Last but not least, 100 years from now, the real estate investor and builder Simon Saab is to be remembered by one word. What would it be?
Fun. We had fun.
We had fun.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
I had
a lot of fun.
I had fun.
You had fun? Oh, I got something to give you.
Yeah, thank you.
Here. We're still on camera.
Oh, God, no.
So this here is my favorite hat of all time. And we stamped it and we made it the official Umber hat last year. Okay. It fits like an absolute glove. It's become a lot of people's favorite hat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got one for you. Okay.
Oh, great.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, nice hat.
And one for your wife too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks good. Look at that.
I love the material.
Yeah, it's comfy, eh?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have a lot of these hats. When I was a runner.
Yeah.
So all my hats were
the dry
this
fit
material. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
I'll wear this with
great.
pride.
Yeah, right on. Looks good. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you for tuning into Umber Talks. Don't forget to follow the show and share with a friend you think would love this episode. See you next time. Bye.